Welcome back. Let's now bring you the latest from the ICC Cricket World Cup. Well, in the India versus West Indies match in Chennai, Devon Smith's half-century is helping the Windies chase India's score. India have set a target of 269. Yuvraj Singh was the anchor for the Indian innings, who scored his 13th ODI century before falling for 113 of Pollard's ball. Virat Kohli also supported Yuvraj with his knock of 59. But the highlight of the innings came in early in the match when Sachin walked off like a gentleman for a caught behind an appeal even when the umpire did not even raise his hand. And well, had Sachin not walked out, he could have continued his quest for his 100th international 100. While fans are disappointed they could not watch that record being made in Chennai, that moment Sachin walked back to the pavilion, it was a newfound respect for everyone that they had for the Master Blaster's graceful conduct. And to express what you think of that walk of fame and why Sachin doesn't fail to surprise us time and again, call us and start sharing your comments with us.
He got it, he nicked it, and he walks off.
And I don't think the wicket of Tendulkar is just taking.
And we already have a first caller on the line. It's Mr. Ilango calling in from Guindy. Good evening, Mr. Ilango. We believe that the entire stadium was completely quiet when Sachin walked back to the pavilion. So what was your reaction when you saw that?
I felt extremely happy just because of the fact that it was Sachin Tendulkar who was keeping high on his morals yet again in an international cricket. I would say another point here that even if it was on 99, he was not out at that point of time. If that same scenario happened, he would have still walked out of the ground to the pavilion. That is how Sachin is. He is, considered to be equivalent to God, and you can't expect God to, go out of his conscience and do something against his conscience. So he has kept up his moral conscience and whatever you call it, yet again, and he's the God of cricket, and he's personally great, is what I can tell you.
Right, Mr. Ilango. Thanks very much indeed for joining us with your comments. We have another caller online. It's Mr. Ramani calling us from Nanganallur. Good evening, Mr. Ramani. Now, do you think it's because of Sachin that the gentleman's game is still kept alive and kicking?
Yeah, I do hear you. This is Ramani from Nanganallur. Thing is, Sachin has earned his name, fame, everything. There is nothing in the record book which Sachin has not achieved. That's okay. But at the same time, the heading of the Ndtv-Hindu says the cup that lifts the nation. It doesn't say the cup that for an individual player. Now listen, Sachin, he was given not out by the umpire, and in case the West Indies team had any doubt about the decision, they have this UDRS, that is umpiring the decision review system. They could have gone in that, and even in that case, I don't think UDRS would have found out that Sachin had a snick or something like that. Now listen, this is a war we are playing. Okay, this is a World Cup.
So what basically you're saying is, in the days of sledging, this is a graceful conduct like this is something very, very surprising to go by. Thanks for joining us. We also have another caller online. It's Mr. Karthik calling in from Gauri Shankar Nagar. Well, Mr. Karthik, Sachin was completely convinced he was out, even though he knew he had to wait, for his 100th century there. So what is your reaction to this?
Absolutely, Divya. In fact, I was hoping that Sachin would be getting his 100 in Chennai. It is his favorite stadium, as far as I know. So I was a bit disappointed that he had walked out, but that shows his gentleman spirit and also the sportsman spirit. If at all the batsmen does this, then there wouldn't be a need of the UDRS at all. And I'm sure that Sachin would score his 100 in the final of the World Cup, and he will lift the World Cup for the country.
Right, Mr. Karthik. Thanks very much indeed for joining us. We also have another caller online, Mr. Ravi, who's calling us. Well, Mr. Ravi, we just had a previous caller telling us that if all batsmen were like this, we would never have to use URS system probably. So do you think this coming a day after Ricky Ponting refused to walk out, Sachin has in fact put cricket back on the phrase of being called it a gentleman's game?
Yeah, see, no doubt.
Sachin is always a great man. He's a god of cricket. But I feel it's going to be a crucial game. He should have give a respect for the umpire. So being a vital game for India, it's going to be a turning point for whether they are going to attack Pakistan or Australia. Probably being a vital man and in spite of not having Sheva, he might have give some respect or give for Yoda instead of going on this one. That's what I feel.
Right, Mr. Ravi, thanks very much indeed for joining us with your comments there. We also have another caller. It's Murli calling in from Madipakam. Well, Mr. Murli, how did you feel when you watched this on television when Sachin walked back without even being given or not out?
I was quite happy. We not even waited the umpire result.
Right, so do you think in the days of sledging, it's really hard to find a conduct like this?
Yes, it will be very, very hard to find such a kind of persons, and then we'll be happy that being an Indian, and then the gentleman is continuing the name because of him only.
Right, Mr. Murli, thanks for joining us with your comments there. We have another caller online. It's Mr. Sundaraman from West Mambalam. Well, Mr. Sundaraman, are you happy that Sachin actually brought out such a graceful conduct of walking back to the pavilion, or does it make you sad that you couldn't actually witness Sachin creating that record today? Mr. Sundaraman, can you still hear us?
Yeah, I'm hearing. Hello?
Yes, Mr. Sundaraman. Tell us, how did you feel when Sachin actually walked back to the pavilion? Did it upset you that he could not finish his record today?
Oh, he gave the gentleman game what he is doing.
Right. Right, with that, we wrap that segment of all you callers having called and paying a tribute there to Sachin Tendulkar's walkout today. This will continue, of course, at 9 p.m. and 10 p.m. and at Tamil News as well. Thanks so much for calling us. Do keep calling us as well. And before we wrap, here is a holy festival synonymous with color and food. Here's a look at some palatable dishes prepared on this day across India.
Holi, the time for fun and feasting to indulge in those delectable delights synonymous with the festival. So this Holi, we get your taste of the flavors of Old Delhi. 321 years old Ghantewala Confectioners continues to reign as the one-stop shop for sweets and savouries in Chandni Chowk. Established in 1790, the confectionery got its unusual name from the last Mughal, Bahadur Shah Zafar himself. Like the royalty, you too are spoilt for choice, from the popular Sohan Halwa to varieties of gujia, soaked in ghee, flaky kachoris to jalebis, barfis. The list seems endless, and so do the tales.
बादशाह की जो रानी है वो बहुत पसंद करती थी पहले ही गुजियाओं को, तो ये बड़ी बड़ी दुकानों से मंगाया जाता है, जैसे घंटे वाला है, ऑल वर्ल्ड फेमस है, ये लोग ये पहले शुरू से ही बनाते थे इनके लिए, उनके वहाँ उपहार के रूप में जाता था.
As I made my way through the bustling Paranthe Wali Gali in search of holy savouries, my next stop, the 150-year-old Kamarji, famous for its dal biji, but it were the matar kachoris, gobi samosas and gujiyas which flew off the trays.
हमारा स्वाद सबसे अलग होता है, हमारे मसाले वगैरह स्पेशल होते हैं, इसलिए इसका स्वाद बहुत बढ़िया रहता है.
And my last stop, the blink and you could miss Shiv Mishthan Bhandar at Fatehpuri. Famous for its bedmi aloo, a must in most northern households on Holi. The crisp puris accompanied with potato gravy, pickle and topped with the stall's syrupy malpuas is a gastronomic delight.
पुरानी दिल्ली से बढ़िया खाने का कहीं मिलेंगे नहीं आपको दिल्ली में. अब ये खास वक्त है.
So this Holi, tuck into your favorite treats, diet another day and play safe. In New Delhi, Pooja Talwar for NDTV.
And back in Chennai, in Saukarpet, which is of course the master when it comes to celebrating Holi, wore a festive look. Here are the celebrations.
We go to every relative and we'll have a different kind of sweets, and we'll have, especially we used to have a bhang, which is all the gents will have. Even some ladies also will have. Bhang is specially taken on Holi, this thing.
Holi in the Saugarpet area is very famous. You have seen that all of the people from the different areas are coming to Saugarpet to celebrate Holi. So Mahashakti Hotel is the very main spot here. So all of them have gathered here. You can see the Holi. Celebrate Holi!
And with that, we wrap this bulletin. News in Tamil will continue. Stay with us.